Are you looking for NFTs that are both fun and have actual utility? Try SoRare, the largest NFT-based fantasy game. You can collect, trade, and compete with officially licensed digital cards of soccer players from over 180 clubs on SoRare. That's SoRare.com. Okay. How's it going, Luis? We just finished Tuesday's slate. If you rostered Lewandowski and Dybala, you probably did pretty well.
Yeah, that I did. So that was good. I got those right. Then, as you said, Parejo wasn't pretty good for the price, but neither was Kimmich. Even Bruno was kind of like a dud. And then Wan-Bissaka was great thanks to your comments. They played three at the back. He was decent for the salary. I played Navas instead of Acuna. Navas got injured. I put the Kiev goalie instead of Odysseas, which after leaving, I think he had 8 points after letting 5 goals in. So,
Yeah, he saved a Lewandowski penalty.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. So that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, we were more or less in sync, right? I played Boulaye Dia for Villarreal because the price was cheap, and I say, well, I can play another defender, or let's try to find some upside. It didn't work out, but I was, but Dybala and Lewandowski did well.
Yeah,
so good. So
me too. I played Boulaye Dia. He only finished with 3 points. Everyone was kind of on the same page there. He was 55% owned in the big $444 tournament. I felt like I didn't get too much right, actually, but I played Lewandowski and Dybala and Coman in that $444 tournament. None of my other players really did good, and it was good enough for second place and $5,500. So we'll take that. Only a late Danjuma goal cost me first. Or actually also cost myself first by playing Rakitsky over Wan-Bissaka, who you mentioned. There was a 3-point difference there, and I lost by 2, but no complaints. No complaints.
No, I mean, I think, hey, congratulations! Getting second on that tournament is nice. It's a good bankroll lift. So
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
nice.
Absolutely.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get.
Yeah, let's go. Wednesday's slate, 6 games again. Manchester City are the biggest favorite. Let's see, they are minus 844 right now at home to Club Bruges. Then we have Inter, who are minus 322 away to Sheriff. Next is Sporting Lisbon, minus 250, home to Besiktas. Next, Liverpool, minus 148, home to Atletico Madrid. Then we have RB Leipzig and PSG. PSG's plus 144 on the road. And then we have Borussia Dortmund, Ajax, who are both plus 158 right now. And that game is in Dortmund after Ajax crushed them last time out.
Very high total. Yeah.
Sorry. That game, does it? Yeah, it has the
Borussia Dortmund Ajax have like a 3.4 total. That's amazing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 3.44 total in that game, the highest on the slate. The Manchester City Bruges total is 3.2. Same with the PSG Leipzig total. Three teams projected to score at least 2 goals. That's Manchester City, Inter, and Sporting. As far as the DraftKings slate goes, there's some interesting pricing. Let's start at forward. How are you seeing the top range at forward on this slate?
Yeah, you say is it so interesting pricing? I feel that you can play almost like a lot of different lineups. I believe at the top is hard for me to play Salah. I think Salah or Paulinho. Paulinho price is pretty high to my taste. I mean, I know he might score. I know they're favored, but paying 10,000 for a forward that it's not in the highest total is kind of like not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
There's I mean, Riyad Mahrez is supposed to start at 10.5. I'm not sure if he does. I mean, it's a reasonable price for him for the matchup. So I can see Mahrez at the top. People play Mahrez on the top, the top over 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Checo at 9.5. I mean, it's not bad. It's Inter. It's away from home. They're supposed to win, but I feel that you can. I mean, you can play Checo or you can play. I think Sebastian Aller is a little bit expensive, but Ajax keeps on doing it. So, I like. I mean, the thing you're referring to is like the PSG guys are cheap compared to usual, right? So Neymar at 7.9 seems like a glitch. So I mean, no Messi, so he has more more opportunities. Mbappe is going to play. Di Maria, I think Mbappe is over Di Maria on corner kicks now. I mean, not completely sure that this is the year that it's hard to know who's going to take set pieces, but not that you need. I mean, Mbappe especially is the most upside play compared to Di Maria. So, I like Mbappe and Di Maria, both of them at those prices. Then it's just, I mean, I don't know if you want to go to Torgan Hazard, not my cup of tea. There are guys down below, like, I mean, Joao Felix is 5,000. I mean, at 5,000, I can take a gamble, not for cash, but definitely I can take a gamble for GPPs. Anyone else you like? I mean, I think there is a lot of guys and all the price range that makes sense. So some of them are odd, but
Yeah. Yeah, we're on the same page. I was referring to PSG when I mentioned some of the pricing. Really weird to see Neymar at 7.9K. Yeah, it just seems like a bit of a glitch. And then yeah, the other ones are too cheap too. Mbappe at 8,200 and Di Maria 7,300. I'm like you said, I'm not sure who's going to take corner kicks. They've both kind of been in and out of the lineup when the other one is either in and out of the lineup. So it's kind of weird. Di Maria took corner kicks in their last game, but Mbappe didn't play. But either way, the prices are cheap on all those PSG guys, at least for cash.
Yeah, I can even see Di Maria. Sorry for interrupting. I can even see Di Maria as a 7.3 is a decent price to even put it in the midfield. So
yes, definitely. I think you could play two of those PSG guys for sure. And then, yeah, at the top, I agree. I think Salah is too expensive for cash games, definitely, and Paulinho also. Mahrez seems to be okay though. 10.5 and probably the best matchup on the slate. It seems like he's like the Champions League guy for Pep. He's sort of been in and out of the lineup in the Premier League, but he's played 90 minutes in every Champions League game. Yeah, again, I don't know if he'll start tomorrow, but he's in the expected lineups that I've been looking at. So I think that's probably where I would go at the very top. But yeah, cheaper than Manchester City. I don't really see much. Like you said, I don't think I want to go to Thorgan Hazard. Like there's at least one midfielder that you can pay down for. There's a few good ones that we'll get to. With those PSG prices, I think you just go there and maybe a Mahrez. That's what you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm on the same page. I mean, I feel that Man City, all guys are pricey, but it's a very good matchup. And most of the time they deliver. It's not like Lewandowski, but Maris is not 12,000; it's 10,000, which I think is fair. I can see a case to say, well, Checo at 9.5 is the midget of the slate. He has scored 2 goals, I think, on the other game. But if you have the problem that Inter, I mean, if they go winning, they might get Checo out. I mean, they've been playing him. He's over 34 years old, I think. So they just play him to the ground. So it might be possible that, they get Correa in and they get just a rest to some of the guys. So So I think Checo is. I mean, I can see Checo and the PSG guys, or I can see two PSG guys. I can see Mahrez and Neymar as well. I think Neymar might be popular for cash, especially Neymar when Mbappe plays. I'm not sure if. I mean, maybe Neymar takes most of the corners, but we'll see. You know, like both of them are. Mbappe might take the penalty kick. I'm not sure if Neymar is doing it. I mean, it's been weird. It's been a weird season for PSG. Everybody's injured. Nobody plays on the same lineup. Then is when everybody gets on rhythm, they go back to play with Brazil and Argentina and France. So it's kind of like, I think next week they're going back to. I mean, so
it's like if I had to guess, it seems like Di Maria would at least take a few set pieces, being that he's left-footed and Neymar and Mbappe are right-footed if they want to take in-swingers and out-swingers. I don't know. I think you can count on Di Maria for at least a couple set pieces.
He's a good player. I mean, especially when he plays up front. I mean, a guy that always delivers points, and PSG actually, needs to win. So this is a decent price to take a gamble on. I mean, I feel better playing Di Maria than, for example, playing Torgan Hazard, which is always a question mark. You don't know how many points are you going to get from Dortmund anymore. So.
Yep, I agree. Dortmund is just, you can't really have any confidence rostering anyone in Dortmund, especially against Ajax, who really dominated them last time, I think. I guess just a quick bit for tournaments. I have the cheat sheet up for anybody watching. There's five players that are betting favorites to score on the slate. Dzeko is first, like you mentioned. He's minus 125. Salah minus 120. Mahrez, Sterling, and Lautaro. So you have the two.
Very good odds, though. I mean, they're decent, but over 55% odds are not that good. So
you're right. Not even close to what we saw. Lewandowski was minus 270, I believe, about 74% to score. So yeah, we don't have anything like that on this slate.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. So you see the odds. I mean, it's just Checo might be the guy. Paulinho is like, as you see, is overpriced. Even here there is a 42%. I mean, I like that, when we go talk about midfielders, I mean, Pablo Sarabia is not a bad, I mean, with those odds and the salary is not a bad play. But everybody else, I mean, seems overpriced, like Aller, Tadic, the Ajax guys, they have been doing well, but it's hard to play them. So,
I agree.
The only thing but the good thing is, like, you can have guys at the 7,000-8,000. The PSG guys, I think they're going to be popular. They should be. You have Mahrez, you have the Inter guys if you want to play Dzeko with one of them. And then if you are a romantic like I am, I think Atletico Madrid are really underpriced for first time. I mean, they look decent against Liverpool the second half. Correa is taking set pieces. One thing to remember is like Griezmann is not going to play because he got red carded. So that takes one body out of the equation. Lemar is out for injured. Llorente is out injured. So there's not many subs for the forward. So it's either Mateus Cunha or I don't know what else. So it's like, so pretty much the three that stars, that means it's supposed to be Suarez, Correa, and Joao Felix. There's a high probability that two of them are going to play long time. So for 5,000, if you're going to go and play Banaken for 4,000 or somebody like that, well, rather get some upside, I think. And that's as much as I'm going to talk about Atletico Madrid in this lane.
No, so. But I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, that's a fantastic point, because normally we don't want to roster these Madrid guys because they always get subbed and we don't know who. But yeah, with Griezmann out, Llorente out, I know you mentioned somebody else. Correa and Felix are good prices. Yeah, and if one or two of those guys are going to stay out there for 90, yeah, I like that a lot. That Atletico Liverpool game was gave us more than we thought it would last time. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah, we'll see. And so the people I watch the games, I mean, Correa took some corners instead of Rodrigo de Paul, and Griezmann did. So it might be Correa instead of, I mean, Rodrigo de Paul is not a bad price, but for 5,000, Correa seems decent. Or I mean, Joao Felix is a great player. So guys, hey, for GPP, I usually do one Atletico stack for shits and giggles. I haven't been doing it because they always like 7,000, 8,000, and it's just ridiculous to pay for that. But this late, I think I'm gonna do one. So
yeah,
if you see guys enjoy. So
yeah, and you're right. Yeah, Correa took 4 corners last game, and Griezmann took 6. And we won't have Griezmann out there, so yeah, I think we can expect Correa to take some set pieces.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, let's move to midfield. I don't know if De Bruyne is going to start. I didn't see him in the lineups I was looking at, but I don't know.
I hope he doesn't. I mean, I hate paying 10,000 for Kevin De Bruyne in the current role. It's just a matter of it's too dependent on the lineups because Grealish takes on set pieces, Gundogan is taking more, Mahrez takes the penalties now, and Foden is always there. So it's just paying that amount of money for a central midfielder with a share of set pieces seems a lot. I mean, we all love Kevin De Bruyne, but I mean, at 10,000, I'd rather pass. I'd rather go and gamble with Neymar or Di Maria or Mbappe. So,
yeah, definitely. I agree totally. I can't really pay 10,000 for De Bruyne in the role he has now. It'd be better off if he doesn't start. I agree. So where are you looking then for midfield? I think there's a couple obvious plays. What do you think?
So on the let's say on the expensive side, well, not expensive, but between 6 and 7, I like the Sporting Lisbon guys. When I talking about the guys is Sarabia, and Pedro Pote, which is Pedro Gonçalves. Whoever you see, names keep changing for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But those 2 guys were amazing in Turkey. They both took set pieces. I mean, for that like 6-7 and 7.4 in a 7.5 in a match they need to win to have some chance to either go Europa or even how the group is going. They might even get back to beat Dortmund and have a chance to be second after Ajax is like just decimating everybody. I like the Inter guys, but I just between DeMarco and Çalhanoğlu, but I don't know who is going to play and he's going to play how much time. So I feel Inter is a little bit of a Russian roulette. I mean, you might want to play them, but you don't know who is going to play, and then it's like who is going to score the points. So DeMarco was good, but he played only 60 minutes last time. So I expect something like that if the score goes away from them. So
yeah, yeah. We're on the same page pretty much. I'll start with the Inter guys. I agree with you. I don't see DeMarco, in the expected lineup, but he might start, and I wouldn't expect him to play 90 minutes. But if it's Çalhanoğlu, he's only played longer than 70 minutes twice this season. I think he started 8 or 9 times, getting subbed around 60 or even before in a lot of those games. He's never played 90. So, yeah, it's okay. It's a good matchup. I guess you could go there. I probably wouldn't do it with the Sporting Lisbon guys, like you mentioned. Pedro Pote or Pedro Goncalves or whatever you want to call him.
Pedro. Yeah.
Pedro, yeah, he seems like the best play on the slate to me. I mean, he's taking at least half the sets, let's say. Him and Sarabia split, I think the last game, maybe the last 2 games. He just came back from injury. But I mean, this guy's he's just like a really good player. I mean, a lot of times on these slates when I don't know the players, I do know him, but I'll sort of just look them up. You go to Transfer Market, he's valued at 28 million pounds, 23 years old. You see that there's rumors that Liverpool are trying to sign him. He fills up the stat sheet. He scores goals. He takes sets. He's 6,700. Sporting are, minus 250 favorites. They have a implied goal total of over 2 at home to Besiktas, who give up goals. I mean, just basically lock Pedro Pote in for cash, I would say. You can play Sarabia too, but those those Sporting guys seem pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Sarabia might be a little bit. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, between the two of them, obviously Pedro Pote is cheaper, so that's nice, and also it seems to have more upside. I mean, I think Sarabia took the PK, so that's something to consider. But I will play then over the Inter guys. I mean, all the other midfielders, I mean, I won't pay for anyone else. I mean, I see a lot of guys like, there's Julian Brand and 5,000 again. I just always hesitant to play Dortmund because they feel so low for DraftKings. Like they don't score that many points, and then I mean, besides those two guys, I don't know what you think about it, but looking at the list, I like I mean, if Rahid Ghazal is gonna play, I think he's definitely a good piece to have in your lineups for 4,000. Pjanic is out. I'm not sure if Alex Teixeira, which is the replacement, is going to take some corners. I don't think he does, but I am not sure. You guys do your research. If you go to SofaScore or somewhere that have Turkey stats, find out if Alex Teixeira takes some corners. But if not, Rahid Ghazal, ex-Olympic Lyon player, he was amazing as a floor play. So he takes corner kids. He shared with Pjanic. He might not be sharing now, and you get a guy with double-digit upside for 4,000. So.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree more. And yeah, good point about Sarabia taking the penalties. That's important to note. That adds some value.
I did last time. I'm almost sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out, but maybe check that out too if you're listening. Yeah, about Rashid Ghazal. It seems pretty much like a cash game lock, and I think I'll have quite a bit of them in tournaments as well. You mentioned that Pjanic's out. Ghazal should take most of the set pieces, I would assume. 4,000. Yeah, they're underdogs, but he's 4,000 and he has upside. He has open play upside as well. So I mean, if we're playing, if we're playing Renato Sanchez at 3,800 away to Sevilla on today's slate, I mean, Ghazal's a better play than that. So seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, better play. Supposedly a more level matchup. So definitely, I like it. Yeah. So I just checked. Yeah, Sarabia took the penalty kick against Besiktas last match, so he might be on penalty duty. I feel. I mean, they play the same lineup, which is the same. I mean, what I see. And besides those guys, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like you can. I mean, obviously for GPP you can play whatever you want. Oh, I got Arturo Vidal. Well, lucky you, bastard. But I mean, that can play most of the time doesn't pan out. So, there is guys to GPP. So as we say, you can play anyone you want for GPP. I mean, if you ask me, I like Carrasco at 4,000. Decent player again. It seems that he has more playing time. I mean, Renan Lodi might play, but Renan Lodi usually doesn't enter for him. He enters for Mario Hermoso for the left back. And the Bruges guys, I'm not sure. I mean, I just don't like playing against Man City. They did okay in the previous matchup. But if you only have 3,500, I guess you can play Bormer. You can play. How much is Noah Lan? Noah Lan is 3,800, so you can play those guys. I'd rather go with Ghazal and elsewhere, but I don't know what you're thinking. I mean,
Yeah, no, I would rather go with Ghazal too. I agree with you. I normally love playing those Bruges guys. I especially like playing Noah Lang. But
he's amazing.
Manchester City away to City is one of the worst possible matchups. I mean, there's probably not a lot of floor points there. They're just probably not going to see much of the ball and play on the counter attack. But yeah, I didn't realize Carrasco was 4K. I like that 4,100 and
this time, yeah, they finally hear me, I guess.
Yeah, and he's got, like you said, he's got like at least a chance to play longer. At least a chance at 90 minutes, which he's never had before. So that makes it okay. Yeah, I'm just looking around at other set piece takers. I guess real quick, GPP only, definitely. But back to forward, the two set piece takers for Sheriff, Phil and Castaneda, 4,300, 3,700. I don't know. I mean, it's a home matchup, so I kind of like it better than Bruges. And Phil scored an amazing free kick in the last game. I don't know if I'll go there, but they're at least options in the same salary range.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, as I say, those guys can be played. I think Gravenbeck is 4,000 for something. I don't. Let me check. Gravenbeck. I think I saw him like a 4 something.
Oh yeah, let me check. Yeah, he's 4-4.
Yeah, so it's not about price. He has some set pieces. Obviously, very, very, very low ceiling in general. Sergio Oliveira. Even lower. I don't think he takes penalty kicks. So, so you can consider those guys for some floor. But I mean, I think in Champions League when you play low, just get for. If you don't get a high floor guy, just go for the goal. So just go. I mean,
absolutely.
Not that can score. I mean, anyone can score these days, but. I mean, if Arturo Vidal play him or play a light Teal, that guy, he's decent guy.
Yeah.
I feel that play with the outside with the forwards, midfielders. Just Gasol, the Lisbon guys, and don't get too cute. I think those three. You can add Di Maria, you can add some of the forwards, but. For a cash lineup, I mean, why bother? Don't win it there. Win it somewhere else. So try to be different somewhere else. Don't get too cute.
That's a good point. Yeah, and then for tournaments, like you said, I couldn't agree more. Play for the upside. For one, on a 6-game slate, you don't have to be perfect. In these Champions League slates, the nuts never hits. I mean, people were so far away from the nuts today. And it's always like that. So you don't need to worry about getting 2 or 3 more points from your 4K guy or beating people with floors like you might have to do on a 2-game slate where you might have to beat people by 1 or 2 points. But you're going to be okay missing out on a few points. So definitely go for the upside in tournaments.
For example, like I got third on one of I think the 50 or something like that, and the guy that was in front of me, I have a different goalie. I mean, we have more or less similar defenders. Lewandowski, Dybala, obviously. Then he had Kimmich. I have Parejo, and then I had Wan-Bissaka. He had Rakishti, and then he had Odysseas, and I had the other guy. So at the end, it's like. Well, he got 6 points and I got 2 for the goal. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, he didn't hit shots. Is that so? Just don't lose it there. Just if you have you play Neuer today, you're gonna be in big trouble because Neuer give you nothing. Well, he got an assist at the end, but he probably give you nothing besides.
Yeah, I probably should have thrown in that the real key to me getting second place in that $444 tournament was deciding to play Rulli over Neuer, and there was only two goalies on the slate that had a win clean sheet, him and Ter Stegen. So that was a big difference, and that ended up helping a lot. It's nice when goalie goes your way, for all the times when it doesn't.
Yeah, it's just I mean, preaching to the choir here or complaining too much. Like sometimes the salaries are made like the decision is between the 3,500 fullback and the goalie. So it's just frustrating because if it's not something that you can predict or foresee. So
yeah. One other thing I wanted to say about yesterday. About yesterday's podcast and today's games. Sorry if I took anyone off Bernadeschi, who he scored 28, I believe, with only 1 assist. Dybala didn't end up taking corner kicks. So might have got a little bit fortunate there, but I think the field basically agreed with us. Nobody played Bernadeschi. He was 5% only for 6,400 and was definitely the best play in that range. So I hope I didn't take anybody off of him, but something to maybe keep in mind for next time.
Yeah, it was tough because he wasn't taking as many set pieces, and he's being replaced after 60 minutes. And his average, if you see his points per match,
terrible.
Are terrible. So it's something that, that, I mean, even was a decent price, but there are better plays elsewhere. So like, hey, obviously, I mean, we can recommend every player. It's not possible.
Right.
Like, Morales score. Yeah, we know that. And I'm sure one of the defenders that scored the goals, they got like 10 tackles, but who knows? We can't predict that. So
right. Okay. Let's move to defender. What do you think about defender?
I'm skipping to the Liverpool guys. They're expensive. I mean, there's always upside at 10, but I feel that you can do similar or even better for cheaper. So the first one I'm looking at, I mean, I think Pedro Porro and Angelino are good prices. They both take set pieces. Pedro Porro doesn't have corners when the other Pedro plays. So guys, Pedro Pote, midfielder, took the corners from Pedro Porro.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, it's my accent and everything, and I know I can say those guys that should be said, but I try to do the best I can. So the guy in defense from Spain is not taking corners, but he still has a good play because the wing back, he averages around 10 points even without set pieces. So it's a 5.7 is a decent play in a high floor. Angelino was good against PSG. I for 5.4 and with some set pieces, I can play him. I'm not pretty excited. I mean, I don't think he's a lock or anything like that, but it's someone I feel is playable. When you compare him, for example, to the midfielders on that range, right, or even the forwards. So,
yep.
So I like those two at the high price. Then if you get a bunch of guys under 4,000, and then it's just a matter of getting lucky. Like Nuno Mendes is decent. I mean, he's not blowing it out of the water, but for 3.9 is not a bad play. Cristiano, the other Cristiano, has been great. I mean, he crosses a lot. They're play at home for 3.7. I can play him if you need him. The other Lisbon fullback, Matthews Royce. I'm gonna say he's Royce. I'm not sure if that's how you say your name. Mm-hmm. By the way, I didn't know how to say your last name, so you say Belongi. So that's good to know. I thought it was Belongia for some reason. But
yeah, I mean, no, yeah, it doesn't look like I wouldn't expect anybody to know how to say it. So yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, Belongi, but now that Belongi, yeah, I know, but it's like, I mean, I try to do the best I can with names, like.
Me too. So, I get a lot of I get plenty of names wrong too. I think you did okay though. Yeah. I agree. The Liverpool guys, if you want to spend up, I mean, Alexander-Arnold's fine. It's a big salary, but I'd be okay with him. Robertson too. Totally agree with you about Pedro Porro. He doesn't have set pieces anymore, but that's fine. He has plenty of open play value in this matchup playing on the wing. Angelino as well. I made a mistake not playing Angelino last time. He basically lined up in the front three last game against PSG. I mean, I've seen lineups that just have him as a normal left back for this game. I wouldn't like him quite as much, but if he plays attacking, I think it's a really good spot at home against PSG.
Yeah, he was good. Good point. Like, he played as a winger, not as a wing back. So that's something. I mean, I'm not sure we're gonna see with Jesse Marsh line up, but it worked pretty well. He was decent. He doesn't have to defend, so it's something to consider. So.
And then and then I love Nuno Mendes as a player. I mean, I love him as a player. He's got big potential to be, one of the best fullbacks in the world. Fantasy wise, I don't know. He really hurt my feelings last time. I loaded him last slate, and yeah, he's okay. I agree. 3,800, he's okay. It sounds weird, but I agree with you. I'd probably rather play Cristiano at that price. when I've seen them play, he is always getting forward. He's definitely an attacking fullback, putting in crosses whenever he can. So yeah, I like that. And then one other guy, looks like Zinchenko is going to start for 4,000. I think 4,000 is okay against Bruges. Zinchenko, you kind of don't know what to expect. Sometimes he's good for fantasy, sometimes not, but I think 4,000 is okay. But yeah, I think we're on the same page there. Is there any cheap, like really cheap guys? I'm not sure I found any that stood out really.
There is one, but is sketchy. Is Dortmund? I mean, I've seen the lineups that they're gonna play Felix Paslak as
Yes.
a left back. So he's 3,000. He's a guy that goes forward compared to they play. I forgot his name. Stindl, I think. Last they play a left back. Someone in Dortmund. I forgot his name. I think it's probably not Stindl, but
Nico Schultz.
Yeah, that one. Someone that was in Borussia before. Just
yeah. Or sorry. I seen. Yeah, I mean he's out, but I was thinking about Paslak, but then I saw Marius Wolf. Is that who he might also line up there? But he's only midfield eligible. But I agree. If it's Paslak, I think that's really good for 3,000.
Yeah, I think Wolf got a little bit nick in the match in the weekend match. So I know Paslak came from him, so that's the reason he's in the expected. So
okay.
3,000. I mean, the problem he has is he's just not very good defensively. So if Ajax is rolling around him, he's gonna get subbed. So that's the problem with him. Besides that, I mean.
There's another 3K guy in that same game. I actually don't know much about this guy or as a fantasy player either. This Devin Wrench for Ajax on the other side is supposed to start for 3K at right back, I think. I don't know much about him, but
yeah, I know he's a good prospect, but he's not an attacking fullback. I mean, I feel Ajax now, and that's the problem that Nuno Mendes is having too. That you have a front three that doesn't help you much in defense, so you have to be very careful when to push forward. So Neymar is not helping Nuno Mendes, so that's the reason he's having less opportunities to attack. So same with Ajax. Now you have Berges and you have Anthony and you have Tadic. So none of those guys are coming back. So the numbers I've seen from him are pretty low. So he's cheap. He's cheap, but I mean, if you have to go that cheap, I think.
You'd rather play a center back.
Yeah, just so great. Yeah, I'd rather go. I mean, Javi Montero, Atletico Madrid prospect. He scored the other match. Jimenez is cheap. Felipe, all those guys are, cheap. Mario Hermoso. I mean, I would play any of those guys. I just don't know. Like, I mean, if you want to gamble, gamble elsewhere, man. I'd rather try to.
I agree.
I mean, you can get a couple of guys for less than 4,000. So you can play Cristiano, you can play Shevchenko. I think Pedro Porro is a great play at every price. I mean, you don't have anyone else at that price. Angelino might be decent. So just cut the spending somewhere else if you can, especially goalkeepers. So
yeah. Yep, I agree. Let's move to goalkeeper. Play whoever you want, basically. But do you have any specific thoughts?
I like Mignolet if I can. So I like the Sheriff guy again. I mean, playing at home. I mean, I played at Inter. He wasn't as spectacular as usual, but I expect him to see a lot of shots, and I'm not expecting to have a lot of Inter. So I think that he's gonna, whoever his name is, which is they played the other guy last time. So let me see if I don't know who is slated to start. Let me check.
For Sheriff?
Yeah. Oh, I have Athanasiadis, something like that.
Athanasiadis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just a one body a goal. So
Yeah, I think that's okay. 30, obviously 3,600 at home against Inter. Yeah. What about from your team? Any interest in Oblak?
no, no.
Okay.
I just think. I mean, Oblak is decent, but I have a problem with the to get the goalie right of the even matchups. It feels that most of those games go 1-2, 2-1, 1-1. It's rare to see like a 0-0. I mean, I don't think Atletico. I mean, Atletico can win at Liverpool. Like, can they win 2-0? I'm not sure. I didn't. There were not as many shots on target last matchup. So if you play Oblak, you burn. So I don't know. I just feel that play Oblak, Donnarumma, all those guys in the middle is tough. I mean, I'm with you. If you're gonna Spain a goalie, play someone that is gonna win and have a clean sheet. So play Neuer, play Villarreal guy, or maybe Barcelona guys. Those guys, they were big favorites. In this case, play the Handanovic if you want. It was scary last time. Play. I guess it's gonna be Ederson. Not sure he's gonna give Stefan a chance this time, but
Yeah,
so
I mean, I
no, I
think
mean, it's just goalie, man. It's just goalie.
it's just goal. You're right. Ederson has the best clean sheet odds, or whoever starts for City. Manchester City, they're about 55% to keep a clean sheet. So I mean, sure, that's where I'd go if I spend up. But yeah, the only reason I brought up Oblak is 3,900. He's 3,900, and Mignolet is 3,500. So there's a $400 difference only, and it just, I don't know. It's goalie, take your pick, but maybe this isn't true, but for a while, I would rather roster keepers that played against Liverpool than it played against City, because it just seems like Salah and some of the other guys take longer shots that are going to be saved, whereas City, they're going to score tap-ins a lot of times, and I don't know if they necessarily pepper the goal, but I don't like to predict that. That's not necessarily the case. And if you have Mahrez out there, Mahrez takes a lot of shots that end up in easy saves as well. So, personal preference.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm not saying not to play Oblak, but I feel that even at even prices, like, I mean, I feel confident that the Sheriff guy is gonna see shots.
Mm-hmm.
Either
that's a good point.
So I don't know if Oblak is gonna see shots. I mean, I'm sure he is going to, but again, like,
I see what you're saying, because Atletico is a better team than these other teams. Maybe maybe Liverpool don't get a lot of shots, and then these, obviously the Sheriff goalie and the Bruges goalie are going to see shots. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and also it's plays at home. They did pretty well at home last time. Still, Inter, a team that shots a lot. I mean, I just like the idea of having someone that is gonna see a lot of shots, and then like Oblak. I mean, I feel that you need a perfect scenario. Atletico goes up early, so they go back and defend, and then Liverpool just attacks, and you get bunch of save, and hopefully Atletico wins 1-0, and then you get the 25 point goalie. But that's a really, really low probability. Whereas the Tiraspol guy, I mean, he lets, like, Odysseus or somebody like that today, he gets 10 shots on targets and he gets three goals against. Is 4 saves, 8 points. So you already have making value. So I don't know. I like the idea of being creative, a goalie like you did for the 444 tournament, because that's a differential. But
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I like that too. He was when I played Rulli today. I sort of did that on purpose, not to play Neuer, and Rulli was 6% owned, I believe. So if it does go your way, it ends up being like a big differential and big leverage for you.
Yeah. So that's it. I think like goalie, yeah, it's a way of differentiate yourself, especially on those small field tournaments. But But if it's a big GPP, I mean, we can predict who's going to be the good goalie. I mean, I like the PSV goalie, considering that Dortmund can score goals since Haaland is down.
Right.
But does that mean that he's going to be better than? I mean, do I need the $1,000 or the 1,200 to go from him to make either play Pedro Porro or play Cristiano? So in that case, I'd rather go for Pedro Porro, right? It's just a matter of preference, you know. I think that. It's a matter of preference. Like I can tell you, like, oh, you can play Trippier for 3.4, but Trippier is not taking set pieces. It hasn't been pretty good since Llorente is down. So I mean, pay for Trippier now for 3.4 is get lucky that he might take some corners in England and for some reason he hates Liverpool or something like that. It's just something we can't predict. So
wow, yeah, I didn't even see the prices on those Atletico defenders. It's crazy to see him. And is Lodi's supposed to start too, or maybe not? Yeah, I don't.
Probably not. It's going to be he's probably not, but he should be cheaper.
Probably not. Yeah, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is there? I think we covered. I think we covered most of it. Anything that we missed?
Oh man. I hope you do one spot better tomorrow.
Hey, thanks. I hope so too. All right. Well, good luck everybody tomorrow. Thank you to Luis for coming on, and we will be back on Friday for a podcast for Saturday's EPL slate. Thanks again, Luis.
Thank you.